it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. Okay, so this is a bit of a different message than I'm used to channeling. I kind of felt tapped on the shoulder by a third party, and they said that they want to say a few things. So obviously this can be a very triggering kind of message, and you might want to hear it. You might be curious, you might not. So you can listen to this if you want. You can turn it off at any point in time. This person seems to be acknowledging that you pretty much understand each other, you and this third party. And I can feel into your energy. I feel like you pretty much have this third party sussed. Like you already kind of know about this person. And I think you always have. Like from the moment that they interloped on your connection, I think you were never confused about the kind of person this is. I think you were never confused about why they did it. I think you always knew. And I think you have an opinion that somebody that would sneak around or somebody that would try to break up a connection is lost in some way. And that's putting it kindly. But they don't have positive intentions and they don't have a positive relationship with themselves. There was no self-reflective process that said, maybe this isn't the person that I want to be. And I don't even think this person's reached that place within themselves now. This is kind of a self-centered person. And I feel like from start to finish, everything that this third party has done has really been very ego-based. This isn't what they want me to tell you, but this is just, I can't help myself, This person's ego was bruised. This person's ego was always like very much in the game. And so even now, I feel like it's still kind of like about them, because I'm hearing that quote that he who interferes with the destiny of another being shall not receive their own. And I'm feeling that very strongly. I've channeled that in other messages. I feel that very strongly for this third party. I think this has happened before. Like not just in this lifetime, I think this third party has been a third party to other relationships before. But I think even between you and I'm hearing this masculine, take it how it resonates, they've interfered in this connection in previous lifetimes before. This is a pattern. It is a functioning dysfunction. This person has like a competitor energy. I feel like this third party felt rejected by their mother. I've just heard early on. And so there's this fixation on women. There's this targeting of women that they feel are better than them, is what I'm hearing. In some kind of way, they feel like they're dominant or they're strong. There's this fixation, and there is a desire to like kind of compete. And then it's this kind of like, look at me energy. But I feel like somehow this is tied to some kind of a mother wound, and I'm not excusing that. I'm not excusing that at all. But I feel like this person is actually feeling pretty unsatisfied in their life. I think there is a recognition that they have received karma. I truly feel their soul, if their spirit guide, their soul team, they have not met their soulmate in this lifetime, and they won't meet their soulmate until they stop interfering in love connections. I feel that very, very strongly. Like I'm not even sure depending on how bad this is, like how rooted this pattern is, like for some, their soulmate doesn't even incarnate at the same time. Like a strong soulmate doesn't even incarnate at the same time. Or maybe they do, but they're just kind of, they have other like life destinies, and they don't even meet their soulmate until they stop interfering in other people's connections. So it creates kind of a cycle here as well, where they haven't experienced that kind of love. So I feel like they're actually very jealous. The other thing that I'm getting about this third party, they're giving me the word demonic, and they're kind of explaining this, like what this energy is. It means an absence of God. So this is somebody that does not participate in the Tao. They do not participate cooperatively with God's plan. And I don't know what caused this, but I can see what they're telling me is that this person is very, very, very far away from their own soul pod, like their own soul group. And instead, they've slammed into your soul group. And maybe this person has some kind of pattern of doing this. Like they just slam into like other soul groups because they're jealous. It's hungry ghost energy. And I actually think it was the light of the divine feminine here. I'm seeing like the star energy, and it drew this person in, and this person was feeling like very jealous. And because this isn't their soul group, it's not their soul group, it's not where God intended for this person to be in their own path that is their own. All this person can do is take. That's what I'm getting. All this person can do is take, because they're not where they're supposed to be. Because where we're supposed to be, we have that equal reciprocity. We have a healthy, equal balance of give and take to our community and in the relationships that we're giving. But it's not written that this person should be anywhere near this group of people. Yet they're here anyway. And so all they can do is kind of target and say, how do I wiggle my way in here? How do I, because there's no natural soul connections here. So this person, reciprocity is a big issue for this soul. They never receive reciprocity. It's actually made them extremely competitive. And the way that they need to kind of fix this is, I feel like this person is actually currently feeling guilty, which may be the spark, but there's still like a strong selfishness to this. But that I actually think might be a strong spark. And I'm seeing the scene in The Wizard of Oz with the hot air balloons at the end, you know, where they're getting ready to go back to Oz. And I feel like this person needs to go back to Oz, which I feel like is back to their soul group or back to their timeline or wherever they're supposed to be, you know, it's just rogue. So they're bringing that back to demonic. It's like, this is just like a rogue soul that's not participating in the divine plan. They're far away from where they should be. And therefore all they can do is take. This is a very lost soul. It creates this craving energy, this hungry ghost energy, this less than energy. That doesn't have to be their reality, but they have to stop. They have to pause. They have to go hermit mode. They have to consider that they actually feel very guilty about what they've done. They have to own up to their mistakes. It's hermit mode that kind of leads to this like hot air balloon thing, because this person was seeking out Oz. So it's envy and it's jealousy. I feel like that was kind of fueling this person, and that's what caused them. That's what drew them out, tempted them out. This is so interesting. I've never thought about this or heard this before. It tempted them out of their soul group to begin with, and then they slammed into yours. And I really do feel like they wanted this divine feminine's attention. And that explains the fixation on the divine feminine energy and the interloping, because I'm hearing like, oh, I will get your attention. And this goes back to like their wounding with the mother here as well. So it's like this person has just been living in a state of ego wound, because their ego can't form properly when they insist on doing this. And I feel like the soul kind of insists for some reason on doing this, because they want some kind of passionate new beginning, but there's like some kind of defense. Yeah, I don't exactly know. They want some kind of rebirth, but it's not a part of the divine plan or something. And I don't know. It's like this person kind of went rogue. So anyways, getting back to like this particular, what they want to say, I do feel this has been some level of an awakening experience. I do feel like this person wants to reveal their truth, something here as well. They want to take responsibility. I think you know that you got to be very careful with this, that this isn't just a ploy to wound you further, because this person wanted dominance over you. Both of them did. This masculine, he wanted dominance and control over you by making you cry and trying to involve this third party. This third party also wanted dominance because they wanted to emerge as this competitor, somebody that was able to get in between the two of you. So I think you have to be very careful about sitting down and having a conversation and allowing this person to quote unquote like reveal their truth. You know, does this person want to go over all the nitty gritty details and what was said and what was, you know, that's wounding pain. And so I think there's a mixed bag here. I do think there's some of these third parties that are genuinely feeling remorse and they are wanting to correct their mistakes and they just feel so bad. And so it's like a natural next step for them is like, well, I want to fix it. I want to make it all better. And I do feel like there's some kind of message energy. Like this person may want to message you, or they might want to mess. For some, it's like this has broken up, like none of you speak to each other anymore, you know? And maybe this person's like, I want to message him. I want to message you. I want to set up something here. I want to be the one. I was the one that tore this apart. I want to be the one to put this back together. But again, you see what I'm saying? All this is kind of like centered around this person's ego. And it's kind of gross. It's like, here, did I put this entire man in my mouth and now he's dripping in my slobber? And there you go. You can have that back now. Do you see how it's still dominance? So this third party needs to remove themselves from the equation. And going back to the fact that this is not their soul pod at all. Like it's not their galaxy. It's not like, I don't know where this person's from, but it's not here. Like that's kind of the vibe here. So if they really want to help, they have to admit to themselves that their very presence here is what's causing the problem and that they cannot fix it. All they are is the problem in this situation. So they need to remove and then hope that this can heal on its own and then turn this over to the higher energies. And they need to focus on their own healing journey and they need to go back where it is that they belong, their own soul group, their own soul pod. And they need to listen to their heart. There's a lot of I energy in this karmic. Like they look out and it's not connected. Their I energy is not connected to their heart space. They don't see things through the lens of the heart of like, when they look at something or someone, it's not like, is this for me or is it not for me? It's not that at all. It's envious, it's jealousy, and it's very consuming. The eyes are very consumptive here, like with this with this person. So they feel like they have left some kind of unfinished business. I feel like this person would like to talk with you or have some kind of conversation. I feel like this masculine feels the same way, because I feel like neither of these people expected you to respond to this in the way that they did. They both wanted your attention. They both wanted to flick you in the face, and they both wanted to dominate you in some way. And so I think they wanted this, they wanted something that they didn't get here. A conversation, a yelling. They didn't expect for you to just shut him down so completely. I think at the very least, they thought that you would talk to this masculine, both of them, in their little subterfuge kind of, they have some kind of deep need that they're trying to meet in this unhealthy way. I think at the very least, they both thought that you would speak to this masculine. And then I think you went, I only speak to people who are cooperative and kind to me. This is a very clearly a war cry, and I have no interest. So I think this person wants to acknowledge that there's unfinished business, and they want to tell you some kind of truth. Again, I would be very careful about this person revealing any kind of details or anything like that. This person does want to say that they messed up. I think for some of you, this person wants to tell you that they've been going to church or they've been going to temple. There is a desire to confess. So I feel like this person also, for some of you, I'm just going to tell you, there's a mixed bag here. Some of these people are genuinely like remorseful. Some of these people are just deeply perverted, like in the mind, and they want to go confess something to a priest, because again, a priest is somebody that they see as, being beholden to God or something. And they just want the priest to kind of like, clutch pearls as well. There's a blend here. Of energies. I'm just letting you know that. But yeah, some of these people, like, they want to reveal the truth. They want to say that they messed up and that they want to right their wrongs. They want to let you know that they're feeling guilty and that they've been in a really dark place and that they've been feeling really alone. I feel like this person somehow got their karma, and it had something to do with a message. And I'm seeing in one of my decks, it's like, I think it's the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not sure what this card is, but it's like a mama deer and a baby deer. So it could have to do with like, they got some kind of message. Could be from their mom, or it could be about a child. I don't know. Maybe this person found out that they were pregnant. Could be with this masculine or not. Even if it was, like, maybe it still didn't convince this masculine to kind of settle down with them. Okay. So getting into it, I feel, they want to say that they reflected and everything, and that they're confused as to how to mend this. But this person needs to A-B conversation, see their way out. It's not for this person to fix. It's all like centered around their ego that they want to fix it. This person, you don't like this person. I don't think you ever have liked this person. Like from the second that you knew that they were a third party at the very least. Because for some of you, you could have thought this was a friend. You could have thought, for some of you, you could have thought that you had a reciprocal understanding with this particular person. But I can see that reciprocity is a wound here. And I think it's a mother wound. And I think it's because they're off in the wrong, like, little galaxy soul pod thing. So anyways, this person's ego was like wounded. So I don't really fully understand this. If the two of you were a couple, I think it's because they saw you as better than them in some way. Like maybe you were really succeeding in your career, or like you just look happy and you just like looked fulfilled. And this person, sees, I'm just gonna be very honest with you. This person sees men as weak sexually, and they don't respect it actually. And this person just kind of knows that they can, like, if they offer, they're not going to be refused by most men. They just know that. They truly do not respect men. Like I'm literally just getting that. I think that they like having control over men or something like that. They actually respect women. And that's why there's this fixation on the feminine. So if you were a couple, I feel like, again, you were a very respectable woman, somebody that they wanted. It's this mother wound of like, maybe constantly trying to overtake the mother. So maybe for some of you, you have a motherly energy here as well. But it's like, yeah, or just, I don't know, like maybe their mom told them that they were never going to amount to anything or something. And so then they like smash into other women in order to compete with them and to be like, take that, mom, but obviously that's like a very, polluted kind of energy. That's if like the two of you are a couple. I'm picking up more specifically, like, I think for some, you could have not been in a couple with this masculine, or maybe you had just started to date kind of a thing, but this karmic could very clearly see that this masculine wanted to make you an offer and he was serious about you. And I feel like this masculine is maybe not usually in that energy, or has not, like, since this karmic has known this masculine, has not been in that energy. In that case, I actually feel like these two could have been sleeping together. Like in the past, I think it was hidden, maybe intentionally secret. I don't even think it was that regular, because I think he kind of like makes the rounds sort of a thing. But this karmic still felt very possessive over the D. And maybe this person feels possessive with everybody that they sleep with. I don't know, but I can just see that It's a very ego-oriented space. And so even though I feel like this man was sleeping with other people and like this karmic was like secret, like kept a secret or like hidden, I think that was okay with them because they felt like that was just the situation with this particular guy. Like that's just who he is. He's single, he's a player, whatever. He's not the relationship type. So at least I'm in on it. Like I'm not the favorite, but this is not a guy to have like a favorite. This is not a guy to like have a girlfriend. But then I feel like the divine feminine entered the scene and all of a sudden there was the chemistry, now all of a sudden he's relationship minded, or this karmic could see that kind of, and I felt just tear energy, like with that. Now all of a sudden they see him like wanting a relationship. They could have even spoken about this for some, because again, I'm hearing like, I don't know where we stand now, kind of thing. Like, are we gonna ever sleep together again? Because I feel like it was sporadic, like to begin with. And again, their ego was very wounded. But for some, I feel there was an argument or maybe even a conversation that like, hey, look, I like her, I'm going to pursue her, and I'm going to do it the right way. You know what this is, I know what this is, but we've got to stop because I'm going over here and it's a different kind of thing for me, So for some, there was an actual conversation, but I think for some, this karmic could just see it. And that's when they became incredibly, incredibly jealous. And they recognized this divine feminine as being superior, because even though this man was like thotting and bopping around, sleeping with multiple people before, it didn't engage this ego wounding and this competition the same way this did, because now clearly there is a favorite. I think the other thing was that they were shocked that this guy ever wanted to be in a relationship. And so this person wanted to win. So they were like, oh, wait, he wants to be in a relationship now. It wasn't like, oh, he likes her enough to be in a relationship. This karmic wanted to prove to their ego that he was ready to be in a relationship and he was going to choose them. So this karmic very much set out intentionally to fragment this connection. They wanted to cause chaos. They wanted to destroy like the ability to communicate. They wanted there to be unfinished business here between the two. They wanted to emerge as a competitor. They wanted it known that they were sleeping with this man, but they knew what it was in the past. They knew that he wasn't serious about them. They knew that he was sleeping with other people, but they wanted to be like on this divine feminine's level because she was seen as superior, because she was seen as a favorite. She was seen as somebody that he wanted to commit to. I feel like all of this is unbeknownst to her, by the way. So incredibly unfair. But yeah, so they intended to do that. They were going to ruin the connection between the two of them. They knew this masculine would be heartbroken about this, and they expected for him to turn around and for them to comfort them in their bosom, basically. And for him to realize, like, he would be low, he would be vulnerable, he would be sad. He was already having a relationship on the mind, and then therefore they could transfer, this is literally what they were thinking. They're going to transfer the feelings that he had for this divine feminine over to themselves, where they were going to emerge the victor and they were going to be seen as the goddess. I don't think this worked. That's why I'm saying, like, I think this person's ego was like continually bruised, because like they even could have gotten pregnant and this guy was still like, I don't want to be with you and I don't want to settle down with you. I guess we've got to take care of this kid. Like, I think there was something here, or he got somebody else pregnant. There was a truth revealed here in this particular situation that like he wasn't serious about you then, he's still not serious about you now. And so I feel like this person's ego got like very wounded. And I think that they could have recognized that, I don't know, I feel like they see this divine feminine as being very defensive over a new beginning. Yeah. So I'm wondering why they think that's their problem. They have some kind of goal or wish. I just heard, if I had one wish, we would be best friends. Love would never end. So this is weird. This is all of a sudden a weird energy where she's like, nah, I want to be best friends with the divine feminine. And for some, I think that was kind of always the goal as well. Because I just heard like latent homosexual like urges. So for some, like that's possibly why this third party also like slammed into this, because yeah, they could have been doing the thing. I'm telling you, I really think this third party, I don't think they respect men. I think they really truly think men are weak, like sexually. So maybe they do sleep with men. I think they find it easy. Maybe they feel they can get whatever they want, kind of from them. But there's a huge, at the very least, there's respect, like huge respect for feminine energy. And there may even be attraction, but it could be subconscious. I don't know. So for some of you, it's like they wanted to be like your friend or something. But this is like an incredibly unhealthy way of going about that. I think you recognize that here as well. Maybe they didn't feel like they had your attention. So again, this is that mother wound thing. And this is how they wanted to get your attention, but they wanted you to, again, see them as powerful as they see you, kind of thing. But they did it through, it's the same weird thing about like this masculine wanting to smash into you and dominate over you emotionally, have you crying, and then he feels like he's conquered you in that way. Like, it's the same kind of weird patriarchy thing. So, I don't know, but this person, I think, I think they're concerned. This does feel very selfish because I really truly believe that this person's destiny, like their own path, I feel like this person's very confused about their path. And I do feel that's being withheld until they stop doing this to people and until these relationships have actually healed, is what I'm getting. So for some, this is an extremely bad habit. And it's been going on for like many, many lifetimes. If they're making this person wait until all these other relationships have healed and these couples have actually found their happiness, so I think this is actually concerning this person. But again, it comes from like this selfish place. But they're worried about the unfinished business in this connection. And it's because they want to feel like they want their person. But this person's got a long way to go anyways. It's like I'm seeing this person kind of get in their spaceship and go float off somewhere. They need to spend an extended period alone in hermit mode, reflecting, to gain some kind of clarity. But this person is to play no part in the healing process because they're the problem. I don't want to say that they're the only problem because you can't have an affair by yourself, basically. But they can be nothing but a problem in this space, and they have to accept that, and they have to move on. And when their energy leaves this space, I feel this is a person who has like karmic debt to this entire soul group, and it could be because this feminine left. And this is her soul group. This is like withering on the vine kind of energy as well. And I just heard deaths of despair. So for some, this is like a family group or there's some kind of extended group here. And but I'm hearing for the men, like I feel like there's certain men in this group that are like potentially like drinking themselves into a grave or something because of this unfinished business. And they haven't been able to reveal a certain truth here. And they didn't offer reciprocity. And now like, and I think this karmic is right to be concerned about how defensive this feminine is about like some kind of new beginning here. And how like grossed out she seems to be by this man's southern region and just very averse to engaging with it when it's kind of hers to be engaging with. Because remember I was telling you this karmic felt possessive over that in the past? It's so interesting where they're like, oh my God, like you have to like, this is crazy. Like, you know, I feel like this person didn't realize that this was going to be this bad. So there's like basically no possibility for a new beginning, but this karmic just has to let go and basically let life do its thing and let things heal. And I don't honestly know that this is salvageable, like between the two of you as a couple, because there's been a lot of damage done here, but the healing can still occur even if you're still kind of like away from, you know, even if you can't repair like certain relationships, if you're not interested in that anymore, you can still heal. Like you still need to heal and he still needs to heal. So she needs to go away. She has to actively relinquish herself from this soul group and any other. She can't be slamming into any others as well. Yeah, she is worried about these things. It's coming from the strength of the defense. She maybe sees the strength of like your defense. Yeah. That she's actually worried that the two of you are not reconnecting. Why is she worried about that? Teamwork, building. She's getting a new perspective on teamwork and building. And competition and fragmentation. So yeah, devil energy. She is actually, yeah, she knows. She knows she has not been. I literally just heard, I know I'm not a great person. I just heard that. Yeah. If there is a child here, could be worried about the psyche of this child as well. So this person maybe is not completely shut off emotionally. It's still very rigid. And for this person to heal, this third party, they got to let go of this soul group. It's not at all where they belong. And they're never going to get the results here because all they can do is take. They're not meant to fit here, but they're still like jealous because they look around and they're like, well, this is the best person, or that's the person, that's the center of attention. So that's what I'm going to go after. But I really feel like this person needs to relinquish control. They are uncomfortable with their inner world, I think. They're uncomfortable of like, this person has immense strength is kind of what I'm feeling. Like they do have some kind of immense strength. That they don't know how to, it's like they have no outlet for that. And I don't know. They want to acknowledge that they made you feel like judged. They want to give the truth about a death situation and this tower energy. Why? Because they feel like the finger was pointed at you. Why do they care though? Because of an argument? They want to purify the argument so that they can start receiving their good karmas. Why? The lovers. This person wants their lovers. I knew it. This person can sense that I think this person has never like truly felt that love. And they're wondering why. And the reason why is because they have to stop doing this. They have to stop causing unfinished business. This person attacks other couple energies. So of course they're not, he who interferes with the destiny of another shall not receive their own. And this person's like, I want to feel that. And they can feel it. It is there for them. But they're not even in the right realm. I don't know what this is. Where they're so far away from home is what I'm getting. And I don't know if that's like talking about a location here on the planet, you know? Like they're in one location, but their heart is calling them towards another. This person is so funny. It's like, I just keep hearing that. Like, I know all of this. It's like they didn't know another way to be in the past because there is something here about a father. Oh, maybe their father cheated. Or left. So this would be really tough on this person. Just looking through the lens of compassion, if this person's father cheated and left, and then they also felt a rejection from the mother, or they felt critiqued by the mother. About something here that was it's something to do with, this is weird, something to do with money and like the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know, for some of you maybe this person had to work at a young age or something, or good Lord, for some of you there's like some kind of schmegdual thing coming in. That's not gonna be for everybody. Where maybe this mother didn't have great boyfriends or around this young child. For some of you, I think this child was a victim of something here. Okay. Or it just could be that this child, that's not for everybody. So it just also could be that the father was like absent or cheated or something like that. And so this person recognized that something maybe needed to change here and that they needed to go after like this kind of father of cups. This could have been conversations that were had between the two of them. So if the dad cheated or something, like the father is seen as the father of wands, like very schmegdual or whatever. So this also could be a trigger. So especially if it was that second situation where, well, I don't know. It could have been a trigger. I could go back and forth here. So like for the second situation where it's like they were just screwing around and it's like, oh, this is the king of wands. This guy's just like my dad, you know, he's somebody that would just like up and leave. Seeing the love, seeing him have love for somebody makes him a king of cups. And that was a trigger here. Because they were like, oh, something needs to change. I need to go after a guy that really loves me. Because maybe like somebody just got their mom pregnant and then like just up and left. And their mom was like, yeah, he like used me, or I didn't know what was going on, you know? And so this person was like, something has to change. I got to find somebody who has love here, but it's not necessarily love for this person. So that's also the thing with a couple situation as well, because they're like, oh, he loves her. So they could have tried to interlope in that relationship because they were like, he loves her. So they can recognize when a man is in love with a woman, but they don't understand that it should be them and that they have to actually, maybe there's a fear of taking a risk. That's what I'm getting, because their dad, they're scared of getting their, okay, this took a lot to get to this person's heart, okay? They're scared of getting their heart broken the way that their mom did for a lot of them. And they attribute that to the father being in some kind of schmegdual energy in the past. Like just did whatever he did, left. I think actually that affected this person very deeply. Some kind of divorce, the father leaving, or some kind of like schmegdual energy here from the past. And so they're scared. They're actually scared to, you know, date and to try with a man. And I think that, like I said, there's a lack of respect here because they think that they are all run by their dicks. And I think this person kind of like tries to prove it to themselves. Like, see, it's not possible. Love isn't real. Like that kind of thing. I actually think there's some kind of subconscious thing going on. It's a trauma. It's like a morbid trauma where they keep repeating that. And it could be by interloping in couples. And they're like, see, It's like a testing thing. It's like, see, he didn't really love her or something like that. But if the love is actually there between the two of them and they're like, no, I think that couple has real love. I have to go take that man because that's a man that can love. Instead of like, girl, you got to find your man that loves you. He loves her. He might be in some lustful energy towards you. He might sleep with you. He might tank his relationship. Maybe you can get this man in a lust frenzy. I don't know. But that's not, it's the same thing that you're scared of. Like this person, this is what trauma does to the brain. It's like this person doesn't recognize that they kind of create the same situation that they're afraid of. This person is stuck in a trauma loop. Oh my gosh, there we go. And that's why them and this masculine are karmics to each other, because this masculine has this person in a trauma loop. I mean, not that he's like responsible for it, but they play out each other's trauma somehow. And then it creates this like self-fulfilling prophecy where for this man, he involves with this karmic, even though he's in love with a feminine, he could be afraid to love. I don't know. Maybe hit some, oh, good Lord. I'm oh Lord. I don't know. He could be intimidated by his partner as well, especially if she's a strong woman or something. And he could be intimidated by that. So he's like, oh, I'm going to try to tear her down with this third party. But that plays out a self-fulfilling prophecy. See, I knew it. I knew I should never get in a relationship. You know, just because she happened to reject him for being an asshole, just like she should have. You know, it's like this weird cyclical loop. This is a trauma bond for sure, if it's a bond at all between these two. Yeah. So she was like, oh my gosh, I think that this guy really loves this woman. I need a guy that can really love, because otherwise I'm going to end up like my mom and then try to snatch him. But you see how that doesn't work? Like, I feel like I can't describe like how it doesn't work, but it's like, you see how that's not the same thing as him creating and building a love for you. His love for her does not just roll over onto you. That's what this person doesn't understand. They just want to win. And they want to block forward movement by causing a painful ending. And that's also how they feel like they're never going to get hurt. But then they perpetuate like their mother's pain or something like that. But they think they're vanquishing it by like never having it touch their life, but then they just create it tenfold in everyone else. That also might be why they're very afraid for this child's psyche, because they were that little child and they did to that little kid what they like received. So maybe if this person, for some, like this person got pregnant by this masculine and then like this masculine still like dipped and they're like, oh my God, I literally did the same thing to my child, you know, or maybe did that to another person. I don't know. Oh my gosh. So I hope that you're following along, but this person is kind of recognizing that they don't know how to fix this, and it's not for them to fix. They need to leave. They need to leave it well enough alone. They need to stop involving, because it's their ego that wants to involve, and their ego is running away from doing the healing work. I would say even going to church or temple, I mean, that's great. Like, I don't want to, you know, like, however you want to build your relationship with God is your business as far as I'm concerned. But I can see that hermit mode is key. It's like this person's running away from their inner space, and they're running away from like their feeling of lack, or like, why me? You know, like, why was I left? Why was I not good enough for my dad to stay? Why was my mom, the person that I came from, not good enough for you to be decent to? You know? Yeah, there's a strong defense around that. And this person wants pentacles energy. They do want rooted energy. They do want that. And this person wants to feel safe in their relationships, but they just dole out unsafety in every direction. This is a bit of like a Tasmanian devil that's like just kind of rearing out of control here. Yeah, and they wanted to defend their own ego by separating out these two people. Even if there was a child involved, I think this person secretly hates themselves if that's what they did. They wanted to use a child to separate these two people. But this cycle is coming to an end, because even though this person is not fully in receptive mode, there's still ego defenses are ruling this space. Because there's a lot of pain behind this for this person. Yeah, I don't really like cheating. I know none of us do, but it's like, I don't like people who cheat. and like who are serial cheaters. I feel like that's just cruel, you know? But I can see the humanity in this person. I really can. And I'm not telling you to drop your guard at all. I'm not saying it excuses this at all. I'm saying this person does make sense, you know? They do make sense. And there is a lot of pain behind their ego. And they do feel like if they actually start to process this, they're going to be annihilated. And I think their guilt is actually going to consume them when they actually have to confront who they've been and what they've done. And I think that's why this person is actually occupying themselves. They're preoccupying themselves with this plan, with church, and with this plan to reveal their mistakes and make this thing right. And because they want the universe to like, okay, now can I have my soulmate? And the universe is like, there's a whole ass process for you. You got to go hermit mode. I also feel like there's a place on the globe that this person actually wants to go to. It might actually be desolate. It's something Ace of Pentacles, where this person can hermit. It could be surrounded by woods or something. This person might feel most comfortable in the woods. And whether they know it or not, or mountains. I'm saying mountains and woods, maybe even to work in the mountains and woods, where the woods will hold this person's anxiety. This sounds so crazy. This person needs to be surrounded by trees. They act like their community is trees. I know that sounds nuts. Their community is trees. They need to commune with trees to receive the truth. I'm seeing, what is that movie with Sandra Bullock where they do like that thing out in the woods and she's this like this person could be a big city slicker, or they might think that they want to be in the city. They want to be in a crowd because they're just running from themselves constantly. But if they go the exact opposite direction and if they just hermit away, if they live in a log cabin, but I just saw this person like, I don't know, this lady on the internet told me I needed to commune with trees, and this person's like hugging the tree and like, I don't know, licking the tree, and somebody walking up and being like, what am I seeing? But yeah, I feel like this person needs to be with trees. And then I heard that Taylor Swift lyric, it's like the monsters turned out to be just trees. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm seeing the scene from Mean Girls where Lindsay Lohan's character, oh my gosh, Katie Heron, you remember her. At the end, after Regina George got hit by that bus and like everything came to a head, and she's having dinner with her parents, and her mom kind of storms off. She's talking with her dad and he's like, so how bad's it going to be tomorrow? And she's like, well, remember seeing like lions fight over a warthog carcass? I'm going to be the warthog. So I feel like this person has to like own up to certain things, and they have to have the finger point at them, because they could have tried to have the finger point at this divine feminine here. Again, it was part of the competition and just their ego, trying to protect their ego. But it's like this person needs to be vulnerable and sensitive. Maybe they need to get yelled at or like have an argument in order to purify their karma. I feel like this person's understanding that now. They understand. I just heard I have to make it right. I have to make it right. But I think if this person's going to do anything to make it right, it's about revealing that they were in the wrong to whoever wants to talk to them. And I don't even know that these people are going to trust this person. And then I think this person needs to withdraw entirely. Like they can't be a part of this process. Or I just feel like it's best for them not to be involved at all. Because spirit needs to be like the center. The energy between these people is natural and it's of God. So it will naturally draw the way forward. All this person can do is block the light or not block the light. Yeah, there needs to be a transformation. This person just needs to leave. They just need to leave. Even if they successfully interloped and maybe they're with this person now, I don't know, they need to leave. If they want this to heal, they have to leave. And he needs to be left alone with his thoughts. Because if this was like a marriage, he left somebody he loved for somebody he had lust for. And he needs to probably be alone for a while, and there could be a child involved that he needs to not orphan. And she knows he needs to not orphan that child because she was that child. And even if this wasn't a couple, I think she sees in this man the damage of the person that left her, you know? And she knows he's on a track to being that same person. So if he's got a chance at being something different, she should be encouraging that by removing herself from the equation. and dealing with her ego separately, because we've all got an ego. We've all had our egos bruised. We've all felt not good enough. Welcome to the club. Well, that's an initiation experience. Nothing's wrong with you. Something's very right with you, because it's what we all feel sometimes. And if you mourn it and you accept it, you actually move on to what's right for you. And I feel like this person actually does want their lovers. They want their soulmate. But it's like you have to accept what's not your soulmate first. And I just heard that's the simplest lesson of all. This person's guides came in and said, you want love so bad, and you haven't learned the simplest lesson of all. That if you're going to be on the path to finding your lovers, you have to just accept when somebody is not for you. And you have to celebrate love when you see it. You cannot become the enemy of love. You say, yay, these lovers that you see coming together or you see enjoying each other, they mean that you're a part of a stable, healthy community of couples that are supporting each other and people who can truly be friends together, but also they're lighting your way. And this will always be this karmic's path. Love will light the way before this karmic. They need to settle in and they need to be comforted by love when they see it. And not like cynical or skeptical, and they need to not try to destroy it out of this morbid like curiosity kind of thing. They almost want to rip it down, because I think this goes back to a childhood wound of like, it's a mother thing too. It's like either they felt rejected by the mom or compared to the mom unfavorably, or it's like my mom was good enough. The stock that I come from, the woman that I come from, she is good enough, you know? Because it's like they're trying to convince them that like this happens to people. It's not that it just happens to them. Like there's a deep wound about it, and it's very personal. And I feel like this child felt wounded by the father leaving. This child felt wounded by the father cheating. So this is a lot. They want to take responsibility here for some kind of absence. And it could be for this masculine's absence in your life. Yeah. I just heard this person say, I don't want to chase anymore, but it's like they don't want to chase their unworthiness anymore. They don't want to be a dog chasing after its tail anymore. They want to put a stop to it. But they've got to stop hurting other people. And they have to let themselves be fulfilled by that. And this person needs, above all else, being comfortable alone is a superpower. Because if you just know you're fine on your own, it's so much easier to resist like harming other people, or like feeling lack, if I don't jump on this now, it's so much easier to resist that if you're just comfortable in your own energy. And I feel like that's what spirit wants this person to work on. And I do think there's something about like their home. And I think this person feels, it's like if they can manage living in the woods, I feel like they should, but just earth tones, earthy things, a lot of wood surrounding them, like in their home space or something. All right, that was long. This person had a lot they wanted to say, I guess. So anyways, that's what I had for you. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.